Let's get started with today's Monday morning message. Your 20-minute cure to Monday blues. Today, I want to be speaking about interest versus commitment. So let me ask you all. How many of you want a certain extraordinary result in your life? How many of you want a certain extraordinary result in your life? You want to create something that's kind of tough, that's kind of challenging, that's kind of outside your comfort zone. You want an extraordinary result in your life. How many of you want that? In some area of your life, whether it's health, wealth, education, how you feel within yourself, mental health. It can be any area of your life, a relationship, career. How many of you want that? Yes? So I see most of you will probably raise your hand if you hear this. That yes, you want an extraordinary result in some area of life. But you're not getting that result. So also you want that extraordinary result, but you're not getting that result. It's not coming. It's not happening. And let me tell you why. And today's theme is exactly talking about that. And the reason is that we are interested in that result, but we're not committed to it. What's the difference? I see most people are interested in a bunch of things, but they don't have commitment to those bunch of things, and that's why they just stay where they are. They don't get extraordinary results, or they don't do something that really gets them there. What is interest? When you are interested in something, you take action up to a point that is convenient for you. When you're interested in something, I am interested in going for a marathon. Well, yes, it's a good thing. So I go and take action. I need to start practicing. So I go and I run, but only up to the point that it's up to my liking or convenience. Oh, one day it starts raining. One day it's too sunny. One day I woke up a little late. One day I feel tired. I don't do it. As long as it's convenient and it's in my liking, I do it when I'm interested in things. Right? Commitment is doing what it takes. As simple as that. When you're committed to something, you do what it takes. What's an example of commitment? A mother who has a new baby child, and the child is growing up, and the child is learning to walk. Will the child ever walk absolutely perfectly in the first go? Not gonna happen. Child will fall. Does the mother ever say, always picking up the child, always trying to make sure the child can walk, gain balance, always being there for the child in any way? Does the mother say, oh, this is not convenient, this is definitely not my liking, my child may or may not walk, let's see if my child will be able to walk? Does the mother ever say that? No, the mother is absolutely dead certain in her mind that the child will walk. She's committed, and that gives her the confidence that I will do whatever it takes to make sure my child walks. I will do whatever it takes to make sure that my child walks. That's commitment. Doing what it takes, no matter how inconvenient things get. Some of you all are in relationships. You have a significant other. But some of you all are just interested. As soon as stuff gets tough in relationship, in your marriage, things are getting a little tough, you made that promise that I shall be with you through your thick and thin, through your up and down. And as soon as the down comes, you're trying to skedaddle, get out of there, without noticing that, is it out of your interest that you got into this relationship? Or am I committed to this? Because when you're committed to something, there will be ups and downs. Who doesn't go through ups and downs of emotions? Any relationship, whether father, son, mother, daughter, brother, sister, any relationship will have ups and downs of emotional curve, right? But if you're committed to it, if you're committed to the relationship, you see whatever it takes, you do whatever it takes to make it work. Of course, I mean, some of you are thinking there's exceptions, abuse, etc. I'm putting all that aside. I'm talking about in general for most relationships with the emotional turmoil. Most people are interested in being with somebody. They're not committed to somebody. Because when you're committed to somebody, you accept them and you make sure you do what it takes. That's what makes a relationship extraordinary. You will never find somebody who keeps your emotional graph all the time up. But that's the difference between liking and committed. That's the difference between being interested in something and being committed to getting healthy, waking up early. And you only do it until it's convenient. 2 days you were feeling good, you woke up early. Third day you're trying to wake up early, you cannot because you're just interested. But for someone who's committed, doesn't matter if they're sick. It doesn't matter if they woke up, if they slept very late. If you're committed, you do what it takes. You do what it takes. As simple as that. So let me differentiate real quick. When you're interested in something, you do until it's convenient. When you're committed, you do whatever it takes. And that's the difference, my friends. If you want extraordinary results in some area of your life, relationship, health, career, you gotta see if you're just interested or if you're committed. Because if you can change that interest to commitment, if you can change that interest to commitment through establishing a strong why as to why you want to do something, you can transform the results you're creating in this area. You can transform from interest to commitment. That is my guarantee, because that's how the human mind and human psyche works. Max, where are you right now?
I'm in San Diego, California.
San Diego, California. And Max,
right, yep.
You a couple months ago went through a crazy challenge, a 4-4-4 challenge. And I want to talk about interest versus commitment in that theme. So Max, why don't you tell us about the challenge that you recently went through, what it is?
Sure, yeah. So this challenge is called the 4x4x48 challenge. It was created by David Goggins, who is an ex-Navy SEAL. He's now a motivational speaker / writer, very well known. And basically he created this challenge. It's basically you run 4 miles every 4 hours over the course of 48 hours. We began on March 5th, which was a Friday at 8 p.m. and basically nonstop, 4 miles every 4 hours until 4 p.m. that Sunday.
Hey Max, your video got a little cut off. Hey Max, your video got a little cut off. Sorry about that. But could you please repeat? So what was the challenge?
The challenge was to run 4 miles every 4 hours over the course of 48 hours. So basically from the beginning of each run, yep.
So 4 miles every 4 hours. 4 miles is about what? About like 7 kilometers, something like that.
Yep.
So you were running 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. So that means about 12 times you got to do this back to back to back.
Yep. That's right. Yep.
So when do you sleep?
Rarely. I tried sleeping earlier on, but I realized that if I lay down for more than basically an hour, I would feel horrible for my next run. So, most of my sleeping was done in basically 30-minute to 1 hour power naps between each run. So,
oh my God.
Obviously you have to think, you run at the beginning. That takes about 45 minutes. I get back, shower, eat, get ready, and then we're basically 2.5 hours already till the next run. So within that time, I would try and get basically power naps.
That is crazy. So let's say you start at 8 p.m. and then you have to run about 4 miles or 7 kilometers. And then again, 12 a.m. you got to go out for a run. And then again, 4 a.m. you got to go out for a run. And then again, 8 a.m. you got to go out for a run. And then again, 12 p.m. noon, you got to go out for a run. Then 4 p.m., then 8 p.m. and back. You got to go through this for 48 hours. That's like 2 days.
Yep, exactly. So, none of the runs in isolation are incredibly difficult. At least for me, I was in relatively good shape. It's really the lack of sleep and then trying to accomplish some form of a diet that makes sense. because, you know, when you're on really little sleep, very low energy, it's hard to eat healthy, basically. Um,
God. So you gotta go do your like whatever chores, bathroom, eating, cooking, cleaning, sleeping, everything in that 4 hour window. And
yeah.
um, how long does it take to run on average the 4 miles or 7 kilometers?
I was running average about 8:20 pace, so that would be about 37 to 40 minutes, you know, for my run, and then I'll typically walk about a half mile back. So it would take me about an hour from when I left the door to get back to my house.
That is
Yeah.
insane. So you then you get 3 hours to do whatever you want, and then again you gotta get back ready, and you gotta add
Right.
sleep in there too. This is insane, Max. This is an insane challenge, and you successfully completed the challenge, right?
I did. Yep.
Wow, wow, wow. Were you interested in the challenge, or were you committed to the challenge?
Um, I would definitely say committed. So running in general for me has never been something people ask me this a lot, especially when I did that challenge because I kind of created a little Instagram series on it. You know, running, I'm a tall, large-bodied male. I'm not basically your uh, epitome of a runner. I'm not what you think of. So no, running in general has never come easy to me. Running long distances. I was an athlete, more of a sprinter. I played rugby, but long distance has kind of interested me because basically it's always been incredibly difficult for me, and I like exploring myself through, you know, figuring out how far I can really push myself, how much suffering I can try and overcome. So this challenge was, I think specifically, I would say that the lack of sleep, all of these factors tied in, the distance itself in isolation wasn't what made it so hard. It was, you know, I was doing it by myself. This isn't something that I'm running a marathon where I'm getting all of this feedback from onlookers. This is, you got to get up at 3:30, get ready for your 4 a.m. run where you're going to be by yourself, and then run 4 miles, and then get ready to do it again in 4 hours. Um, but you know, I enjoy that. I get a lot of enjoyment out of really pushing and uh, seeing what kinds of things I can do with my body. So,
Brother, wow, that's amazing, amazing. Because if you were just interested, you would probably like maybe drop after two, three. It probably gets difficult right after the first run, right? But when you're
oh
committed,
yeah,
you do whatever it takes. You did whatever it took to get
right.
through the 48 hours and the 48 miles.
Yeah, no. You know, for me, when I do challenges like these, I pretty much there's no going back. When I start the challenge, as long as I'm not in the hospital, I'm gonna finish the challenge. And so for me, it was, you know, there was no secondary option. There was no quitting. Um, I was just, you know, enjoying the experience, though. Definitely.
I love that. I love exactly what you said, man, because that's what commitment is about. No secondary option. This is the option. I choose this, and this is the option. Wow.
Exactly. Yep.
Max, that is awesome. Anything else that you would like to say at the end?
Um, Yeah, I'd say so. Just in general, if people don't know David Goggins, I'd really look into him. One of the like main thematic things that he focuses on is that people generally have a tendency when they start suffering go towards their comfortability to automatically reject that suffering. And like his entire theme is, no, I want to get there in my suffering zone. I want to see how far I can push it, because if you think about any important, any of the most important, most meaningful things in your life, none of those things were things that you didn't have to suffer greatly through. And a lot of those things that you derived a lot of meaning from weren't even things that you're successful in. Running for me is that it's you know, it is not naturally easy to me. I like exploring through suffering what I'm made of, what I'm capable of, and, you know, just enjoying the journey, really. Um, I like the fact that I'm an underdog, that I don't look the part. You know, my running form is atrocious. I have cheap shoes. Like, none of these things matter. It is all a mental game, and that's what I love about running. It is a mental game with yourself. It is not a team sport. You are fighting with yourself the entire time. And, yeah, no, I really enjoy that. So,
Max, that is lit. I love like these gems that you left with us. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining. And 4-4-4-4-48 challenge sounds insane. I'm so happy you did it. And it only shows that you're a man of commitment, not just interest. Cheers, man.
that's right. Thank you so much, Naren. It was awesome talking with you.
Guys, that was Max Schroeder, athlete living in California, did the 4-4-48 challenge, running 7 kilometers or 4 miles every 4 hours. Doesn't matter, sleep, whatever you need to do, you got to run. And that takes commitment. Max said, when you committed, this is the only option. He said, I'm not going to stop until I go to the hospital, whatever it takes. He has cheap shoes. He said he's not the perfect runner. He doesn't have a perfect running style, but he did it anyways because it's right here. And what he said was amazing. He said, suffering, when you really care about something and you want to get something, you have to go through the suffering. And it's worth it to go through the suffering, because that's what gives you extraordinary results. If you go through that in your life, whenever you've gone through that suffering, only then have you created something great. But of course, you got to make sure the end result, what you're trying to get to, is something that you do desire and is worth it. So folks, that is it from my side. Most people are interested, they're not committed. And when they're interested, they do only things until it's convenient or until it's to their liking. When you're committed, you do things beyond your interest and liking. You do whatever it takes to create something. Just like a mother, it's so tough for her to make the baby walk, but she's committed. She knows, doesn't matter what, I am going to make sure my baby walks and takes that step. If you're a doctor, whatever profession you're in, if you're a lawyer, are you interested or committed? Are you interested to save the patient and fix the patient? Or are you committed to take care of the patient? Do whatever it takes. That's a question that you got to answer for yourself. I'm just here, bring it to you Monday morning. We've been doing this week after week after week. The first time we started this, I said I'll do it every Monday morning, 9 a.m. live, India time. And trust me, guys, not every Monday I feel like coming up here and doing a message and sharing something. Not every Monday goes perfectly well for me and starts off. But you know what? I'm committed. I got to put my jacket on, come here, speak to you guys with a new Monday morning message, because this is not out of interest. This is out of commitment. So we've been doing it back to back to back for over about 65, 70 weeks. Some days we get very few viewers. Some day we get more viewers. Doesn't matter. I'm just committed to the process. And that's why I love here. Come share a message with you. Cheers, guys. Much love. I'm always happy to be here live Monday, 9 a.m. India time with you guys, sharing a new message. And I can't wait to continue that.